the show already? What's taking so long? Sometimes life is just beautiful, like some giant hypothetical watermelon that you just sink your teeth into and just you want to eat it forever. And sometimes, life is like eating something that you don't actually want to eat. It's a pretty personal thing. I don't even want to give an example. And why is that? Does it have to do with the reality of the situation? Or does it have to do with your perception? I don't know, I'm asking you. I don't actually know. Can you tell me?
Yeah, tight. What's happening? Welcome to the show. We got some heavy hitters here in the house already. Thanks for jumping on the stream, guys. We got Eric Elliott in the house. We got Kelly in the house. It's good to see you guys. Yeah, it's another day, another show. It's hard to even keep track. Life is just flying by. I guess pretty soon it'll be 2021 and 2022. I'm really wondering when this big cataclysm is going to come. I wish I had access to that Google Calendar that shows when all the big cataclysms are coming. Because I guess it would be nice to plan to just make sure I'm in a good spot when all of that goes down. But then again, I guess maybe knowing is also terrible. It would make it hard to enjoy life and just go to the store and eat food and hang out with people, because you'd constantly be thinking about that date, right? The death date, the end of the world date. Or maybe it's never coming. Maybe that's all just some like hoax fear thing to keep everybody in like a low frequency, and you just you're constantly wondering when the end of the world is going to be. And well, it's not actually coming. Everything's chill, and it's going to be chill for a long time. Maybe that's the case. Now, I'm sort of getting used to this. It's like the color check. Can we do a quick color check and see if we see any cool colors that we like, those kind of colors that we like. This is really a pretty bad show. It's what's it called even again? Wait, I legit just totally forgot. Titans? I think it's Titans. No, it doesn't say on this. I'm pretty sure it's Titans. This is like a DC spin-off thing, and you got like Robin. It's like about DC Comics, but if it was like an angsty teen novel. So you got Robin, but he got too angsty and he had to quit Batman, so now he's doing his own thing. Probably gonna go into the cannabis business or something else like that, and he's just generally just a moody guy. And it's a pretty boring show, but still worth checking out for the colors. So I don't know what you see, but personally, I see a red light and I see a blue light. There's also this white light, which makes me wonder about the nature of our flag and everything else that is using these three colors, the white, the blue, and the red, if there really is more than just, primary color synergy going on there. We got the red and the white here on the door frame as well. But that's the red and the blue. It's there again, and it's in a lot of shots in this show actually, especially in this kind of like, right, they do this a lot where things are out of focus, but then they can obviously pull the color out and have it be, yeah, this is pretty meticulously the red, the blue, and the white, which must have a different, it must have a different sort of alchemy power than just the red and the blue. And I'm just extending this section just a tiny bit to include the hexagon idea because, well, I think besides the red and the blue, the hexagon is my other most favorite thing to notice and track and look for. Excuse me. And here we see it. Here we see it again. It's like in his arm. He is the hive. And I guess I don't know. He's like checking for a tracking chip. I guess Batman put an RFID chip in him, and he didn't like that RFID chip. Which I guess I see where he's coming from. You don't want to get Mark of the Beast unless you actually wanted to. I feel like Mark of the Beast should be a consensual kind of thing. That's not something you just do to somebody, even if it's your protege. But you know, who am I to say? Who am I to say the morals of this? Interesting was to me that it was purple, because that is a whole nother layer of thing. And it turns green when he finds the scan when he does it right. But interesting to see that purple, the purple hexagons. And well, it's just continuous. This is from from a scene a couple, I don't know, 10 minutes later or so. They're checking out the computers, looking to get the good info. Yet another just very cliche scene at this point in all of the superhero stuff where they jump on the computer and steal people's information and do generally illegal things, but it's glorified and made to seem cool. So, yeah, stealing personal identity stuff, that's always pretty hip. And I think part of that is just showing people doing this, and then it's sort of like a soft disclosure and also makes you more okay with the intelligence agency spying on us nonstop and collecting all that data because well, somebody's got to do it. And maybe you think of what they're doing over there at the intelligence agencies more like what's going on here in this frame, in this scene, that it's cool dudes looking for bad guys and not just draconian dragnet capturing literally everything that is said and heard and looked at and eye movement and all of that crunched down into, the grid, the control grid that we're so fond of discussing around here. And just one more quick thing, because I did think that this was interesting. I hadn't noticed it so much in other scenes, right? We talk about the hexagon, octagon a bunch. Whoa. But obviously there's other shapes there. And the triangle is a very important shape in this whole symbology game that we're playing here. And it's really important with the triangle to recognize whether it is an upward facing triangle or a downward facing triangle, because those are sort of polar opposites from each other, right? The upward facing triangle is the masculine energy. It's like a mountain shaped, and the downward facing triangle, like we see here, is the valley, feminine, feminine energy shape. And so often this is going to be displayed and used in symbolism when an organization or an idea or something is supposed to be more submissive or more sort of feminine in a certain way. And I did find it interesting in this scene where it's these two dudes, right? We got it's new Robin and old Robin, and they're just rocking out on the identity theft. And in every single shot in this frame, right, we get the blue and the red and the white. But we also get this downward facing triangle, and it ends up getting like reflected from behind. I guess it's not in that shot, right? But I can't really put my finger on it quite yet. Why would they be showing this downward facing triangle in this particular scenario, right? When they're doing the identity theft, what could it mean? I think I have to look into that a little bit more. let's jump over to the news, guys, because time's a wasting. What's up, Travelers Guild? It's good to see you out in the chat. I hope you're having a good day, Travelers Guild. I appreciated your comments on a previous video that I made. Because at this point, right, there's really not enough comments to really be drowning in them. So I definitely check out and read everything that everybody writes when it comes to this channel. So keep that in mind next time you think of writing something and then don't. It'd be totally worth it. It doesn't even need to be like coherent. Just drop me a line. I love to hear from you guys. So yes, the news, ultra dark and frustrating and just divisive, and usually something that people don't want to talk about anymore in public settings. Which, yeah, all the more reason to get into it and sort of try to take that apart and see exactly why? Why is it all just so rage-inducing at this point? And what can we do to defend ourselves and also, right? Because you have to try to inform yourself. You have to try to. Sorry, I just totally got distracted because well, how can I put this?
Snafu snaps with the house. That's right.
It's good to see you, Snafu. You're my homie. I feel like we're brothers from another timeline or something. I hope you're doing well, bro. I hope you're doing well. Okay, let's check this out real quick. London mosque stabbing. Muslim prayer leader says he forgives attacker who slashed him in the neck. Well, I mean, generally, if I'm going about my day and I get slashed in the neck, that's not a good day. That's usually not what I want to have happen. And this guy is apparently all right with that. He's moving through the neck slashing into forgiveness. And that's the question. My other question is always, well, yeah, why did this end up in my feed? Why is this a popular story? Is it something that people are honestly interested in, or was it maybe extra inflated and maybe the numbers expanded upon, right? What's our total here? I guess 17K isn't really that much in the scheme of things as far as exposure. What are the facts here? What's the deal? We got a bunch of quotes. Describing how the attack unfolded, he said, "We were just praying and I felt somebody hit me from behind. He didn't say anything." And here he is just, doing a press conference, rocking out. I guess he's got a nice, he fixed that stab wound. And I'm a little confused by this white thing. I don't know, maybe he hurt his arm as well. But this seems to be sort of pressing into the stab wound. Now, I'm not saying he didn't get stabbed. I'm just saying maybe. Right? Quote, people are looking over their shoulders, 100%. So what is the point of this article? What is it trying to get us to feel? Well, right, certain people find themselves on one side or the other when it comes to this whole Muslim discussion. Okay, so what would be the extremes? Either you totally feel for this guy and you're really mad at people for not appreciating Muslims and their way of life and not having tolerance for that. On the other extreme, I guess you would say, dude totally deserved it, and I guess they should go back to their own country. Which, just saying it out loud, really sounds kind of like a dick thing to say. But I've heard from many sources in different ways, in different ways, in different ways, that there actually is an attempt and an effort to crash these two cultures into one another, the Muslim world with the Western world, and basically to get them to tear each other apart, to weaken both nations, right? Not just the Muslim world, but the Western world as well. And that once both sides are sort of thoroughly pulverized, yet again, everybody will be a little more primed and ready for that one world controlling organization that we're getting ready for, whenever that's actually coming down the pike. And I've also heard from other sources that right, because it's always the reversal, the law of reversal. There's a lot of talk about, how can I put this, that sort of like Western people that you consider completely Western and fully on board with the whole Western thing are in fact sort of like closet Muslims. Who was it? Was it one of those intelligence agents? Not Jake Tapper. That guy's probably also intelligence, but that guy with the glasses. I'm not doing a good job here, but he was definitely like Muslim and just didn't talk about it very much. And that, basically that there is some sort of concerted effort to pull the whole Muslim thing into the forefront, and that actually, right, that's the hope that they will come out on top and sort of absorb the Western world and not the other way around, that we're generally thinking, right? It's generally thought that the Western world eventually is going to get in there and steamroll everybody down there in the desert and just put up a bunch of McDonald's and that kind of thing. But I don't know, again, all just sort of speculation, but right, this is a news article engineered yet again to make you angry for whatever reason, almost on either side. And I'm here to say, don't do that. Don't be angry when you read news articles. It doesn't get you anywhere. Try to stay cautious. Now, this tab has been hanging around. I didn't manage to talk about it the last time I was talking on the moon, but this was just sort of blowing my mind. I'd never heard of this. Lunar swirls. Wait, let me get some sounds for the lunar swirl. These are the lunar swirls. Can you? That's what they sound like. Actually, that's an audio recording from the moon. Sorry. Lunar swirls are enigmatic features found across the moon's surface, which are characterized by having a high albedo, which is a confusing word, appearing optically immature, which is also confusing, i.e. having the optical characteristics of a relatively young regolith, and often having a sinuous shape. Their curvilinear shape is often accentuated by low albedo regions that wind behind the bright swirls. They appear to overlay the lunar surface, superimposed on top of craters, ejected deposits, but impart no observable topography. Swirls have been identified on the lunar Maria and Highlands. They're not associated with a bunch more science words. What I take away from this is that, right, they image these things. We're just taking pictures of the moon. You can see craters and other sort of indentations, and the idea is that, right, if you went down and you stood on the moon, that this would actually be like a half pipe situation. You could get down there and just and go hardcore zooming. Oh man, we got the hardcore zoom. Right, all of these rocks and little things that I'm pretty sure it's plasma, and the moon itself is plasma, and a bunch of other stuff is not true about what the moon that they're saying, but that's what they're saying here, that these are actually like holes that you could go in the hole. But this swirl that you see here, it looks like a mountain. It looks like this is also like a crater thing, but they're saying that's like under the surface, that it's flat, and that this is some other sort of weird magnetic sign that somehow magnetism is created under the surface, this change in coloration. And right, I mean, all of that definitely seems like some sort of like excuse, not the real truth of what's going on. And we scroll down, and it's like, well, we don't know exactly how these form. We have a bunch of different ideas, right? That maybe it's this, maybe it's that, but they don't actually know what's going on there. And I just thought that was super interesting. Moon swirls, what are they called? Lunar swirls. Okay, massive tangent we just went on. Let's keep going through the news. Now, yeah, this was a little bigger, 39K. Apparently, everybody's pissed again at the Team Man because he did a bad thing. And at that point, I almost glaze over and stop paying attention because this story is boring to me. Because that's all there is really every day in the news. Hey, did you hear about T-Man? And he did that thing. What a jerk. And, well, it may be true, it may not be true, but we know, I think at this point it's pretty obvious what we're supposed to be thinking about this guy. And, well, I'm just kind of sick of it all, but apparently he put some person in the Pearson, is that her name? Shelby Pearson? No, that's somebody else. I'm getting confused here. In other words, Trump is objecting not to the facts of his top intelligence experts are presenting, but to the truth they reveal. I did like this quote. Because that's what we're often talking about here, right? The truth, and I often think about that idea, the idea of fake truth, because that is really what's going on nonstop, every day, nonstop. That things are told to us and to you and to the news people, and I think they tell it to themselves as well. Things are presented as, here we have it, quote, truth. They are the truth, but the truth, it's fake. It's not the truth. It's there's a whole nice beautiful story created around it to make it seem like this is something that is the truth, but that's all it really is, like just a nice elaborate beautiful creation. Not to say that people aren't doing a great job making this fake truth, but it's fake nonetheless, and that's I don't want to take part in that. I at least want to try to step around it and see if there's anything else that we can see besides this fake truth. If there's anything hidden around the seams, around the corners. But the idea here, I guess he put in somebody that doesn't seem to know what's going on with the intelligence agencies. They've delayed this report, and I guess he's saying that this report about Russia messing with the elections is biased and not the actual truth, that the Democrats have gotten in there and sort of adjusted it. And yeah, this whole story front to back with the Russians and the Democrats fighting against the Republicans and these DNI reports. It's it's all just this sort of fake truth, play acting. It's not what's I honestly don't think that's what's going on and what they actually talk about behind these closed door meetings. That they're like, oh, Nancy, did you hear what Trump did? No, Chuck Schumer, like, tell me. Well, he like filed this no, he couldn't have done that. Like, I just honestly don't think that's how they talk when they're actually discussing their strategies and what is actually going on here. And yeah, you can go ahead and read this whole article. It is a lot about the whole Russian hacking thing in this next election and how Russia's obviously turning it up to 11 compared to what they did last election cycle. That they may have a bunch more bots coming and fake accounts and other sort of sketchy online things. But the part that you won't find anywhere in this article is that, yeah, basically America is the number one leading expert on this kind of behavior, that we're constantly going into other countries and doing everything that is stated in this article, right? Making sock puppet accounts, spreading false information through online sources, making hearsay, yeah, defaming people and telling lies about them to try to get them elected or unelected or murdered or maybe just forgotten about. And that I don't think you could put a developed nation on the country in the world where we're not doing that to them. But you will not read that in this article. You will not read that in really any article from any of these major sources. So I think it's worth repeating as often as possible that when it comes to hacking and meddling in other countries' affairs, there is only one leading expert and heavyweight champ there, and it would be America. I would venture to guess. And well, everybody else is probably doing it as well. I have no doubt that Russia's in there doing weird stuff online. I feel like it would be negligent of them not to try and at least have a department about trying to fuck with other countries, because that's the state of play these days. You can't go and blow up other people. You have to get them through other means. And the war that is going on here, right here on the interwebs, that is the whole thing. That is the whole thing. The battle for your minds, as that giant scary man likes to say sometimes. Sick of it. I'm sick of it. It's all not true. Okay, so this now we're seeing some real numbers, right? 150K. How many people have checked out this article already? So I guess this is going around the internetosphere. This guy seems like a nice kid. He was bullied at school for his dwarfism, which you definitely shouldn't do. Don't bully kids, like, ever, for any reason. It's super hard to grow up, and well, this is when people get fucked up. When they're like 9 years old, they get complexes and they never get out of it. So I guess be nice to kids. And also, if you're a kid, if you're 9 years old and watching this, don't bully. That's bad. It's not going to get you anywhere, and it's also going to turn your soul dark. And yeah, nobody wants that. But I guess this kid was bullied, and I guess his mom, which again, this is always the hard part about these stories. Like, I guess the mom posted a video of him sobbing uncontrollably in the back of her car, and the kid says to the camera, "Give me a knife. I want to kill myself." Which obviously bad. Yeah, kid, don't kill yourself. You have your whole life ahead of you, and yeah, seems like you're doing pretty good. You got this cool bike. You got a nice smile. You got a nice hat. Like, there's no reason to just straight up kill yourself. But she posted this video exploiting her kid to Facebook Live to raise awareness of the impact of bullying. In the video, she says her son has previously attempted suicide. So this is obviously, yeah, tough times over at that house. But it makes me wonder, right? If your kid is sobbing uncontrollably, what is your first reaction there? Like, yeah, picture you have a 9-year-old kid, possibly with a disability, and the kid is sobbing uncontrollably. What is your first instinct? Is it to maybe comfort the kid and speak softly and, like, you know, touch the kid and make them feel like everything's going to be okay? Or is your first impulse to reach for your cell phone because you know this shit is going to get a ton of clicks? And I guess from there, yeah, the paths will diverge pretty rapidly. But yeah, the root of the thought is what I'm thinking about here. This mother, and what would cause them to post this dramatic moment. But I guess, yeah, that's what people do. I don't know. There are a lot of different ways of getting through life. But what did happen, right? And again, this may or may not have all been fabricated or also true. But what happened was the celebrities got in there real quick. They got Hugh Jackman got in there real quick. He like made a video about it, and he's like, "Bro, you got a friend in me. You remember that song? Maybe you don't. You're 9 years old." And then everybody else was there, right? And this got a ton of hits. Okay, they got a GoFundMe page. Oh, damn, just gave him 170K. Nice. He's going to go to Disneyland and everything's going to be fine. Right? This isn't for Quaden. It's for everyone who's been bullying their lives, told they weren't good enough. Blah. And a lot of what this is about also is, I don't want to say normalizing, but just broadening this sort of acceptance scope that it doesn't matter who you are and what you've done, and if you're disabled or have a problem or some sort of other deficiency, nobody should ever treat you differently for that, and we really need to just accept basically everything that anybody ever does, except, I don't know, I get confused about the rules because there's a bunch of stuff that we're supposed to super be mad about when people do. And so that's, I don't know, it's not really like a clear-cut list we can make of like, this is good, this is what you should do. When your kid is crying, you should Facebook Live it. When you're at the school and the kid falls down, you should laugh at that kid and point. Is that on the good list or the bad list, right? There's just, I lose track. How do we decide what's the right thing to do? I mean, they're definitely telling us, but then I start to have my own thoughts and I'm like,
shit's contradictory. I don't know what to do. What is right and what is wrong? Because that's what they're teaching us these days. It's called, with what it's called, moral relativism. Moral relativism. That just means that you should not have any hard and fast rules. That you should look at every situation and like change the rules. Like you're not supposed to kill anybody, but maybe in that one scenario it'd be totally good. Like we gotta kill that guy because it's different. It's different now. More relativism. That's what's up.
Damn dog. Damn, time flies. We're already at that 33 mark. We are already at that 33 mark, and well, I'm dead serious. We got to get into that article that I put in the thumbnail. That's just a requirement. It's a requirement for this show. So let's skip through real quick. We're just gonna skip through real quick. Apparently, Tesla's AI and self-driving tech is way beyond everybody. Somebody came out from probably Toyota or Nissan and was like, "Oh, MFG, they are like 6 years out. We are nowhere close to them," and it has to do with them custom building their own chipset. They have been custom manufacturing this stuff and not going to other manufacturers. And yeah, I guess they're just utterly dominating in the self-driving AI aspect of this whole EV thing. And we know that this is the main part about this whole electric vehicle push, that it's gonna be a distant memory. I think pretty soon that people used to drive their own cars. That's gonna be gone. I see that being gone relatively soon. I read articles like this all the time. Archaeologists discover a lost city that may have conquered the kingdom of Midas. And just basically a warping and misrepresentation of what's happening in our history. I'm not an archaeologist. I'm not sure if this is right? This type of writing from this era or whatever. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Yeah, but they said they found this thing and that it's, connected to King Midas and all this other sort of stuff. But I know a lot of this stuff is sort of fabricated and re-sewn together. That a big part of our history has been edited and changed and switched around. And right, what are the chances that this is not 1400 BC, but 14,000 BC or who knows, 30,000 BC? It could be freaking old as fuck, but it's also underwater, so and the carving's still there, so I don't know. Maybe I should become an archaeologist. I know there's something fishy here. That's why I saved the article. And well, I don't know if you personally have ever been on one of those big green sound stages. You've probably seen them in some sort of entertainment. But that's how most acting actually happens in these high budget shows these days, or movies that they get all these rich, awesome actors together, and then they may be acting with each other, but they may also just be dead alone in some gigantic soundstage that is just all green, and they have to deliver their lines. Damn, that was my end bumper. Okay, I gotta finish this, and we'll run the bumper again. I'm so organized. I just want to put that out there. I'm an organized person. Right, and that's normally how that goes with these effects driven like event films. And I remember there was a big famous thing about Lord of the Rings and Ian McKellen coming out that he like sort of broke down on set when he was doing Gandalf, because it really probably must have been punishing, just months on that soundstage, dead alone, trying to channel your emotions and pull off these scenes. And that, yeah, he got really frustrated and was sort of like, this isn't why I became an actor. This isn't why I got into this. And I think it's what sucks the blood and makes a lot of the sort of superhero big transformer stuff so pale and lame, because yeah, the actors, they're not really acting. They're yeah, I was going to say pretending to act, but acting is pretend. It's a more nuanced version of that though, right? Like if you're actually outdoors and it's freezing and you can smell the wood in the air and the fire light is flickering, and yeah, it's going to put you in a mood. It's going to probably be helpful for you acting that scene. And this is all to say, I wasn't aware of this. This show, The Mandalorian, was majorly overhyped and pretty boring and just covered in effects. And so maybe this isn't a good argument for this being a new phase in this. But yeah, they just released this sort of trailer saying that they filmed this show in a different way. What they did was use Unity, which is used to make tons of games, including Fortnite and many other games. It's just sort of a sandbox thing. It's actually free. You could go and download it yourself and start making a video game if you want to read like thousands of pages of tutorials. But yeah, I guess they've been using this for the effects with Industrial Light and Magic. And what they can do with that, then they can build all the effects in Unity and then project those onto the walls. So right, instead of everything being green around you, you actually have this gigantic, right, and again, just huge money involved here, 75-foot diameter circular stage, and then the entire thing is an LED video wall, right, or almost the entire thing. You gotta put the cameras somewhere. But then the actors, they're no longer in this sterile green space. They actually get to be outside in the giant planet-shaped thing. Now, I guess in the end, it's probably going to help a little bit, but in the end, I don't think you can break yourself out of being on the sound stage. That it's still always going to color the performance, and that you will never get the same types of performances that you would get from having acting in a real location with other actual live people. But who am I to say? But I guess it's going this way, and anytime stuff like this gets developed through cinema, you can expect it to sort of inch towards the simple common people like us. So that may be a thing before you know it, that you'll have your video room, and that there'll be wall-to-wall projections, and that you'll go in there to relax, or maybe take a yoga class, and right, but it's going to be projected all full 360. And I was just thinking, oh, what a nightmare that would be to edit all that. But that's what's happening. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up, dog. All right, I did it. I did the show. It's over now, and I have to get back to work in my regular life because, oh my God, I have so many tasks. My tasks have tasks. Like, there's literally not even time to sleep, much less, like, do a show. But I'm doing it anyways, because I say, fuck it. Do what you want to do. This is me doing what I want to do, so I would encourage you to do it. Do what you want to do, too. And yeah, that's a good point, Travelers Guild. Yeah, obviously, virtual reality is already a big thing, and yeah, but it's kind of annoying to have that giant mask-heavy thing all up in your face. So, can't they just project it on the walls? I want to play video games with my walls. That's what I want to do.
That's right. Like, can't you picture playing tennis with an actual wall? Like, I'm talking about video game tennis, where you, like, hit the ball, and, like, this already happens in a bunch of video games, but, like, what if it actually bounced off the wall? I guess that would be kind of cool. Maybe there's better video game ideas than just tennis, though. I hope they think of some, because that's not that good of a game.
Later, dogs. I appreciate your comments and your compliments. It keeps me going. It keeps me going. I think I would still be doing this if you guys weren't so kind here in the chat. So have a good day, Do what you want to do. Or at least try. All right.
I'm out later.